If you played GTA San Andreas back in the day, you probably heard the Bigfoot rumors. But one of the craziest theories says Rockstar only printed 1,000 copies of the game that actually had Bigfoot in them. The story goes that Rockstar secretly made a small batch of discs with a hidden Bigfoot encounter deep in the back of Beyond Woods. Everyone else just got the regular version with no Bigfoot at all. The idea was that a lucky few players would find him and start the whole legend. This theory blew up on gaming forums when players shared blurry screenshots and talked about hearing weird noises in the forest at night. No one could ever prove it, which only made it more believable. It was like Rockstar created the ultimate secret just for hype. Later on, data miners dug through the game files and found Bigfoot models and textures, but no actual way to spawn him. Rockstar even joked about the whole thing later, putting Bigfoot Easter eggs into GTA 5 and Red Dead Redemption. Still, if you ask old school fans, some swear they saw something weird back then. Maybe it was a glitch, a mod, or just your imagination. But that Bigfoot myth is definitely one of the biggest legends in GTA history. Nico Bellic's story in GTA 4 ends with a major choice, but what happened to him afterward? One of the most talked about GTA theories is that Nico has gone missing, or even died, by the time GTA 5 takes place. If you've explored Los Santos closely, you might have spotted some subtle hints pointing to this. There are posters and graffiti around the city referencing a missing person who looks a lot like Nico. It's not outright confirmed, but the resemblance is hard to ignore. On top of that, Lester, one of GTA 5's key characters, makes cryptic comments about someone from his past who went quiet and dropped off the radar.
An Eastern European guy making moves in Liberty City, but he went quiet.
Since Rockstar never clearly explains Nico's fate, fans have been left to fill in the gaps. Some believe Nico decided to disappear and cut ties with his dangerous life after everything he survived in Liberty City. Others think he might have met a darker fate. Maybe he was killed or caught up in something off-screen. This mystery adds an interesting layer to the GTA universe, making it feel bigger and more interconnected. Rockstar seems to enjoy leaving threads like this open, giving fans room to theorize and debate. Wade's friends disappeared after a trip to the quarry with Trevor, and the way Trevor talks about it definitely raises some red flags. Wade mentions his missing friends but never gets a clear answer. Instead, Trevor drops vague comments about how annoying those guys were and how they didn't make it back. Considering Trevor's violent and unpredictable nature, it's easy to think he had something to do with it. Players have searched the quarry and the surrounding areas looking for clues or secret events about Wade's missing friends, but the game never gives a clear explanation. It seems Rockstar left this part open on purpose, adding a dark, mysterious side to Trevor's story. Because the game doesn't explain much, there's been a lot of guessing. Some people think it's just a way Rockstar wanted to show how dangerous Trevor really is, a guy who causes trouble wherever he goes. Others believe there might have been plans for extra content that would explain the story more, but it was cut before the game came out. CJ, the star of San Andreas, doesn't show up in GTA 5, but plenty of fans believe he still exists somewhere in the HD universe. Most think he's either dead, broke, or just left Grove Street behind for reasons the game never explains. Throughout GTA 5, there are subtle nods to CJ's world. References to Grove Street, old gangs, and a few Easter eggs feel like a wink to San Andreas fans. But CJ himself is nowhere to be found, which sparked theories that something happened to him off-screen. Fans believe CJ might have fallen on hard times, losing his turf, his money, or even his life. But we also cannot remove the possibility of him simply running away from Grove Street, maybe tired of the gang life or pushed out by rival crews. The game never confirms anything, leaving it all up to player imagination. Rockstar seems to enjoy keeping these old characters in the background, letting their stories fade while still giving fans little hints here and there. It keeps the world feeling connected without locking down every detail. Claude is famous for being the silent protagonist of GTA 3, but there's a wild theory that he's more than just a quiet criminal. Fans believe Claude and the unnamed hero from GTA 2 are actually the same person, trapped in a time loop that explains why Claude never says a word. The idea goes that Claude has already lived through all the chaos, violence, and crime multiple times. He's seen every angle and outcome, which is why he stays silent, because words don't change anything anymore. This theory helps connect the two game stories and explains the mystery behind Claude's quiet nature. It also fits with GTA's love of Easter eggs and hidden connections between games. Fans point to similarities in missions, environments, and character traits as clues that Claude's story spans different timelines. Of course, Rockstar never officially confirmed any of this, but it's one of those theories that fans love because it adds a layer of depth and mystery to Claude's character. Plus, it makes you wonder if the silent hitman is doomed to keep repeating his story forever. Everyone remembers the ocean in GTA San Andreas being huge and full of life. But sharks? That's where things get weird. The theory is that sharks actually exist in the game files, but almost no one has ever seen one swimming around in the water. You might have noticed that sharks never seem to show up. It's strange because the game has plenty of other sea creatures, and the water feels alive. So where are the sharks? Data miners found shark models and textures hidden deep in the game files, meaning Rockstar at least planned to include them at some point. But for whatever reason, those sharks never made it into normal gameplay. It's possible they were cut because the technology back then couldn't handle it well, or because sharks might have made swimming too dangerous. That hasn't stopped players from searching for them for years. Some swear they caught glimpses of shadows or fast-moving shapes under the water, but those usually turn out to be glitches or other fish. Modders have even added sharks back into San Andreas with custom mods, showing what the game could have been like. The mystery of the missing sharks adds a little extra thrill to San Andreas' vast ocean. So, while sharks might not be swimming freely in San Andreas, the fact they're still lurking in the code is a cool secret to keep in mind next time you hit the water. One of the most emotional moments in GTA 5 is the mission where Trevor reunites with his mother. But there's a theory that this reunion might not have actually happened. It could have been a hallucination caused by Trevor's trauma and drug use. Throughout the game, Trevor's character is shown dealing with heavy mental health struggles. He's unpredictable, violent, and often disconnected from reality. Some players believe that when Trevor meets his mother, what we see is more a product of his mind than real life. The mission is filled with strange moments that don't quite add up. For example, Trevor's mom doesn't appear anywhere else in the game world, and other characters never mention her. Plus, Trevor's behavior during and after the meeting suggests he's struggling to separate truth from imagination. It was never confirmed or denied, but it fits with the dark, chaotic nature of Trevor's story. It also adds depth to his character, showing that beneath the madness, he carries real pain and longing. This theory changes how you might view that mission. Instead of a happy reunion, it could be a glimpse into Trevor's fractured mind, a desperate attempt to find closure or peace. GTA has quietly dropped hints about a secret cannibal ring across several titles, and the evidence is surprisingly consistent. Starting in Vice City, players can find references to gruesome butchery scenes, like the meat lockers, and the disturbing sounds coming from certain buildings. While not outright cannibalism, these moments set a dark tone. In GTA 2, things get even stranger. There's an infamous side mission involving human hot dogs, which many players believe is a creepy nod to cannibalism. Then there's Donald Love, a recurring character who's been spotted eating ribs in a way that some fans think implies something darker. Combine that with obscure in-game dialogue, cut content hints, and cryptic files, and the pieces start to add up. The theory suggests there's a hidden network or ring that involves cannibalism, operating behind the scenes in the GTA universe. It's never confirmed by Rockstar, but the clues spread across games suggest it was at least an idea the developers played with. Some players point to the way certain characters disappear mysteriously or are linked to shady meat processing operations as further proof. Others believe the theme is more of a dark joke, a way to add extra horror vibes without making it explicit. While there's no direct evidence or missions about cannibalism in the main games, the repeated references and eerie details have kept this theory alive for years. It's one of those hidden GTA stories that adds a creepy layer if you pay close attention. There's a popular theory that Lester Crest from GTA 5 might actually be an older version of Zero, the silent RC enthusiast from GTA San Andreas. Another version suggests he could be Berkeley, Zero's rival from GTA Liberty City Stories. Both theories come from the fact that Lester and these characters share a deep obsession with remote-controlled vehicles. Zero is known for his love of RC planes, cars, and helicopters in San Andreas. He barely speaks, is a bit quirky, and spends most of his time tinkering with gadgets. Lester, on the other hand, is the mastermind behind many of GTA 5's biggest heists and also has a similar fascination with technology, including RC cars and drones. Fans point out that Lester's quiet, intelligent nature and his interest in RC toys feel like a natural grown-up version of Zero's character. The alternative theory connects Lester to Berkeley, who is Zero's rival. Berkeley shares the same love for RC vehicles, but has a more aggressive personality. Some think Lester's sarcastic and sometimes dark sense of humor fits Berkeley's vibe better. Plus, both Lester and Berkeley are tech-savvy, playing important behind-the-scenes roles in their respective stories. The shared hobbies and personality traits have kept the theory alive for years. It also helps explain why Lester's character stands out as unique among GTA 5's cast. He might be a nod to earlier characters, reimagined for the modern game. Whether Lester is Zero grown up, Berkeley in disguise, or just inspired by them, the theory adds another layer to GTA's complex world. Rockstar has a history of linking characters and stories subtly, giving fans plenty to piece together. Ryders Betrayal in GTA San Andreas is one of the game's most memorable moments. However, evidence suggests that originally, Ryder wasn't supposed to turn against Grove Street. Early development documents and cut content point to Ryder remaining loyal to the Grove Street families. In the initial stages, Ryder's character was designed as a steadfast ally, supporting CJ throughout the story. The betrayal plot appears to have been a later addition. Early mission outlines and scripts don't include scenes where Ryder works with the police or betrays the gang. This change was likely made to add more drama and conflict to the narrative. Voice actor recordings and unused dialogue files also reveal lines where Ryder expresses loyalty and camaraderie, which never made it into the final version. These hints show a different version of Ryder, one who was a consistent friend rather than a backstabber. The decision to make Ryder a traitor shifted the story's tone, raising the stakes and adding emotional weight to CJ's journey. It also introduced new gameplay elements, like missions where CJ has to confront former allies. Players who dig into the game's files have uncovered deleted cutscenes and early concept art that support this theory. Ryder's final portrayal as a villain contrasts sharply with these remnants, highlighting how much the story evolved during production. Changing Ryder's role wasn't just about plot twists, it also reflected the game's darker and more complex themes. Making a familiar character turn traitor added realism to the gang dynamics and made the story more unpredictable. This insight into Ryder's original role shows how GTA San Andreas' story was shaped by creative decisions to balance character development and gameplay impact. In GTA 5, Grove Street is a shadow of what it once was. The neighborhood is run down, the gang is a shell of its former self, and the families no longer hold the power they once did. The theory here is that Grove Street was originally controlled by the Grove Street families, but something happened that caused their downfall, possibly connected to CJ's story in San Andreas. Back in GTA San Andreas, Grove Street families were the dominant gang in Los Santos, controlling their territory and fighting off rivals. CJ's journey focused on restoring the gang's power after years of decline. By the end of San Andreas, the families had regained much of their influence. However, by the time GTA 5 takes place, the situation is very different. The Grove Street families barely exist as a force. The gang's old rival, the Ballas, along with new threats like the Vagos and international gangs, have taken over large parts of Los Santos. The timeline confusion arises because GTA 5's setting is years after San Andreas. Yet the Grove Street family's decline seems severe and sudden, without much explanation in the game. Some believe CJ's downfall or departure led to a power vacuum. Without his leadership, the families lost control, allowing other gangs to move in. Game files and character dialogue hint at the family's former strength and their current struggles. While GTA 5 doesn't directly mention CJ, fans piece together that the family's collapse happened sometime between the two games, likely as a result of internal problems or external pressure. This theory helps explain why Grove Street feels so different in GTA 5 and adds depth to the series' timeline. It shows how gang dynamics can change dramatically over time, influenced by events both on and off screen. Donald Love is a recurring character in the GTA series, known for his shady business dealings and media empire. However, his sudden disappearance between games has sparked a theory that ties him to darker activities, including cannibalism and the violent world of Rockstar's other game, Manhunt. Donald Love is last seen in GTA San Andreas, where he acts as a powerful media mogul with questionable ethics. After that, he vanishes from the storyline with no clear explanation. Some fans suggest that Love's disappearance isn't just a simple story gap, but part of a larger hidden narrative. The theory proposes that Love's business ventures took a dark turn, involving snuff films and connections to a cannibal ring hinted at across several GTA games. The idea is that Love became involved with underground illegal activities that eventually forced him off the radar. More striking is the suggestion that Love reappears in Rockstar's horror-themed game Manhunt, under the alias Mr. Nasty. In Manhunt, Mr. Nasty is a sinister figure who runs brutal snuff films, a sharp contrast to Love's polished public image. The theory connects these two characters based on their shared involvement in violent media and underground operations. There's no official confirmation, but subtle clues like Donald Love's disappearance, references to cannibalism in GTA, and Manhunt's dark storylines have fueled this connection. The crossover theory highlights Rockstar's tendency to build interconnected worlds with hidden layers. This theory adds a creepy layer to Donald Love's character and suggests that the GTA universe has darker secrets that spill over into other Rockstar titles. You probably remember the opening of GTA San Andreas, where CJ returns home after his mom's funeral. But there's a theory that Big Smoke wasn't just there to welcome him back. He was actually waiting to ambush CJ on behalf of Officer Tenpenny. According to this theory, Big Smoke planned to betray CJ from the very start. Instead of being a loyal friend, he was set up as a double agent working with Tenpenny to take CJ out. This would explain some of Big Smoke's suspicious behavior early on, like his eagerness to get CJ involved in gang activities and his secret meetings with corrupt cops. Early game files and cut content back up this idea. Some deleted scenes reportedly showed Big Smoke lying in wait inside CJ's house, ready to attack. These scenes never made it into the final game, but their existence suggests Rockstar originally planned a darker twist for Big Smoke's character. You probably didn't notice some of the subtle hints, like how Big Smoke sometimes avoids direct confrontation, or how Tenpenny trusts him with dangerous missions. This theory adds a whole new layer of betrayal to the story, making you rethink the early part of the game. Instead of a simple reunion, the start of San Andreas could have been the setup for one of the biggest betrayals in the GTA series. Big Smoke's eventual turn against CJ is legendary, but this theory says it was planned from day one. Knowing this makes the early friendship scenes feel tense, like you're watching a trap slowly close in. It also shows how Rockstar's story ideas evolved, cutting some of the darker moments, but leaving clues behind. Now, here's an obvious one. GTA San Andreas has been around for years, but there are still plenty of players convinced that Rockstar hid secrets we haven't found yet. The game is massive, packed with Easter eggs, hidden messages, and strange landmarks. Even after all this time, people keep discovering weird things that don't quite make sense, like strange symbols, odd NPC behavior, and mysterious sounds. Rockstar has a history of slipping in secret content, so it's believable that some things are still waiting to be uncovered. Do you remember the endless rumors about Bigfoot, ghosts, and UFOs in San Andreas? While many were debunked or explained, some clues remain unexplained or only partially explored. That keeps the mystery alive. Rockstar has also dropped hints over the years that there's more beneath the surface. Developers have talked about how they layered secrets in the game, some too obscure to find easily. Plus, code miners and modders often stumble across unused content and cryptic files, suggesting there's more than meets the eye. This theory doesn't point to one specific secret, but rather a general belief that San Andreas still holds hidden content. Whether it's hidden missions, secret characters, or weird locations, fans are convinced there's more to discover. It's the kind of open-ended mystery that keeps the community active, sharing theories and searching for clues. San Andreas's huge world and rich lore make it the perfect place for Rockstar to hide things for players to find years later. Lester, the mastermind behind GTA 5's biggest heists, drops a curious hint that Nico Bellic from GTA 4 was once considered for a job in Los Santos. According to Lester, Nico was a potential crew member, but went quiet before anything could happen. Nico's story in GTA 4 ends with some major choices, but the game doesn't reveal what happens afterward. Lester's line suggests that Nico might still be out there, but for some reason, he disappeared from the scene. This mention fuels a lot of speculation about Nico's fate. Did he retire from the criminal life? Was he caught, or worse? Or did he just lay low to avoid trouble? The game doesn't answer these questions, leaving it open for players to imagine. It's also interesting because it connects the two game stories in a small but meaningful way. Lester's comment feels like Rockstar's way of acknowledging GTA 4 while focusing on GTA 5's new characters. The theory doesn't have concrete proof, but is based on that single line and some background context. It adds a layer of mystery to Nico's character and makes you wonder what his life looks like after the events of his game. The mural at the top of Mount Chiliad is one of the most talked about mysteries in GTA 5. It's covered with strange symbols, drawings of UFOs, and cryptic messages, and many players believe it's part of a huge alien conspiracy within the game. The theory is that if you complete certain tasks, like finishing the game 100%, finding hidden collectibles, and visiting Mount Chiliad at specific times, a UFO will appear. Players have spotted these UFOs hovering over different locations, especially at night, and it's believed they're triggered by specific conditions. What makes the mystery even more intense is the belief that the UFO sightings aren't just Easter eggs, but clues to something bigger. Fans think there's a secret final reward or mission connected to the mural and the UFOs that no one has unlocked yet. The mural itself is complicated, showing what looks like an alien egg, an eye, and a spaceship, all linked with arrows and numbers. Players have spent countless hours trying to decode what it means and how to trigger all the steps perfectly. Despite all the searching and theories, we never received an explanation of the mural's purpose. This has kept speculation alive, with some players convinced the game still holds a secret beyond what's been discovered. There are even online communities dedicated to solving the Mount Chiliad mystery, sharing tips and theories about what to do next. The fact that the game offers UFO sightings at all gives this theory some weight. And while we're at it, there's also a theory that Rockstar's whole Mount Chiliad mystery was just a big troll. After years of players hunting UFOs, studying murals, and chasing impossible clues, some believe Rockstar purposely made the mystery unsolvable. The game drops a ton of hints: the mural, UFO sightings, strange symbols, but none of it leads to a final secret or payoff. That's why many players think it was never meant to be fully cracked, just a way to keep the community busy and guessing. Rockstar is known for adding hidden Easter eggs, but the Mount Chiliad mystery is on another level. Some say it was designed to frustrate players, sparking endless theories and debates. The cryptic clues may have been put there knowing no one could ever complete them all. Fans have spent countless hours trying to unlock a final reward or secret ending, but nothing concrete has come from it. This fuels the idea that Rockstar wanted to create a legend rather than an actual game feature. The theory fits Rockstar's cheeky sense of humor. They love messing with players, and this mystery is the perfect example. It keeps the game's community alive and talking even years after release. Big fans of the game believe Michael DeSanta from GTA 5 is actually Tommy Vercetti from Vice City, just older and with a new identity. According to this theory, Michael entered witness protection after double-crossing the mob, leading to his rebranding and relocation in Los Santos. Tommy Vercetti was the main character in GTA Vice City, a ruthless gangster who took over the city's criminal underworld. The theory suggests that after his violent rise to power, Tommy wanted out and made a deal with the authorities to avoid retaliation from the mob he betrayed. Michael DeSanta's life in GTA 5 fits this idea well. He's a retired criminal living under a new name with a fake family in Los Santos. His skills, attitude, and past hinted at a violent history, which some fans believe ties back to Tommy's story. This connection also explains Michael's complicated personality. He's trying to leave his old life behind, but keeps getting pulled back into crime. It adds depth to his struggles with family and his need for control. The theory is supported by subtle references in GTA 5 that nod to Vice City and Tommy's past, like similar dialogue styles, personality traits, and even a few Easter eggs that hint at connections between the games. It's a popular one among fans who like to link GTA's characters across its different settings. Michael as Tommy gives fans a new way to look at GTA 5's story, blending the classic Vice City narrative with the modern world of Los Santos. In GTA 5, Franklin comes off as a typical street hustler, trying to rise above his circumstances. But here's a fresh twist. Some fans believe Franklin actually has a secret military background, or at least a deeper tie to the military that Rockstar hinted at. This theory is based on a few curious details scattered throughout the game. First, Franklin often mentions needing discipline and structure, which some see as coded military talk. Around his apartment, you can find a few survival manuals and old magazines that feel more tactical than typical street-level gear. Then there's the mission Hood Safari, where Franklin handles high-pressure situations with sharp instincts, almost like he's done this before. You would believe it when you replay the Blitz Play heist. Franklin steps into a logistical role, organizing the crew and calling shots. His calm under pressure is strikingly different from Trevor's chaos and Michael's experience. Could it be he was once trained, or at least worked, as a contractor for the military? Some data miners even point out hidden dialogue files where Franklin mentions needing to learn military-style tactics. This theory could explain why he has such smooth driving and shooting skills, but isn't openly violent like Trevor. It also ties into his reluctance to fully dive into crime, because maybe he already crossed a line earlier in his life and he's trying to balance that past with his current hustle. The ghost of Jolene Cranley Evans on Mount Gordo is one of GTA 5's creepiest Easter eggs. But there's a theory that she wasn't just meant to be a spooky visual. Some players believe Rockstar originally programmed her to actually attack you if you got too close. If you've experienced the ghost in the game, you know she appears at night near a bloodstain on the mountain. Her eerie appearance and the mysterious backstory have made her a favorite among fans. According to this theory, the ghost was supposed to be more than just a chilling sight. She was going to chase or harm players who approached, adding a horror element. Early game files and unused scripts seem to back this up. There are hints that Jolene's ghost was designed to be an active threat, but Rockstar toned it down, probably to keep the game's balance between fun and fear. Making her attack players might have been too intense or disruptive for the overall gameplay experience. Even without an attack, Jolene's ghost remains a memorable mystery. The story behind her murder and the strange circumstances add depth to the game's world. The possibility she was once a real threat makes the encounter even more unsettling. There's also a major theory that Franklin Clinton wasn't supposed to make it out alive in GTA 5. According to early ideas and hints from the game's development, the Death Wish ending, where all three protagonists survive, was not the original plan. Instead, Franklin was meant to die, with Lamar stepping up to replace him as a playable character. You would believe this theory when you look at the dialogue and actor interviews. Stephen Ogg, who voices Trevor, and the actor for Lamar have both hinted at alternate storylines during development. Lamar's actor specifically mentioned that Lamar was supposed to play a bigger role, and even suggested that Franklin's death was planned to give Lamar the spotlight. This alternate ending would have dramatically changed the story. Instead of Franklin surviving and helping Michael and Trevor pull off their final heist, he would have been killed, pushing Lamar into the main action. That would explain why Lamar's character is so present in the story but never actually playable. It was like Rockstar wanted to keep the option open during development. Gameplay-wise, this would have shifted the dynamic significantly. Lamar has a very different style and personality compared to Franklin, offering a fresh perspective if he had taken over. Franklin's death would have been a shocking moment, shaking up the player's connection to the story. While Rockstar ultimately chose to keep Franklin alive and give players the option of the Death Wish ending, the early plans for his death add an interesting what-if to the game's narrative.